Hallo und willkommen zum zweiten Video von 3 Minuten Deutsch. Today we're going to be talking about you. No, I have not been stalking you. Today we're going to be talking about the different yous that you can use in the German language. Yes, I said yous. That doesn't make much sense in English. Okay, but in German there are several yous. It's the same way it is in a lot of different languages. You have a plural you, you have a singular you, and you have what is the difference between a familiar you and a formal you, or a more polite you. When you're addressing somebody that you're related to, a pet of yours, a child, or a deity, then you're going to be using the informal speech, and that's what we call the du form in German. If there is more than one of these people, then you would be using the ihr form. When you're addressing somebody as a superior, your teacher, your boss, your headmaster, whatever it may be, if you're addressing one of those people, you're going to be using the Sie form. If you're addressing more than one of those people, you're also going to use the Sie form. It's the same for the singular and the plural. Now, this is also used whenever you're talking to somebody who's a stranger, so this could be anywhere from like any person you meet on the street and you're asking for directions, or it could be used whenever you're talking to like a cashier or someone in public service. That's why a lot of people will use this as the polite form or the Höflichkeitsform, and that's a little bit different than saying that it's formal versus informal, because sometimes these conversations may seem relatively casual, and yet they still use the Sie form in those particular situations. In the Sie form and the ihr form, that's relatively simple because you don't have to worry about any of the irregular verbs. The Sie form essentially just takes the infinitive form of the verb. So for example, gehen Sie nach Hause? Spielen Sie gern Fußball? Haben Sie etwas für mich? The ihr form of the verb is going to take the en or in off of the end of the verb, and then you're going to add a t. There are a few problems though. If you have something like a D or a T or a consonant cluster at the end of the stem of the verb, that part before the en or n, then you're going to end up having to add an extra e in between the stem and your ending. So, here are a few examples. Geht ihr nach Hause? Fahrt ihr mit dem Bus? Spielt ihr gern Fußball? Redet ihr mit dem Mann? Reitet ihr gern? Warum atmet ihr so schnell? The du form, or the singular familiar form, that form is going to be the most difficult out of this list, because if it's an irregular verb, it's going to take a stem change in there. Now I'm going to talk about these at great length in a different video, because I think it would make more sense once we get all of the verb forms to talk about that, but suffice it to say that if it's going to take a stem change, it will take a stem change in the du form. If you're unsure, there's a link down in the description where you can find verbix.com and you can check it there. If it's highlighted in red on the du form, that means it's an irregular verb and you should pay attention to the stem. Most of the other time though, it's going to take the same type of rules that you have for the ihr form, except instead of adding a t to the end of it, we add an st. So for example, gehst du nach Hause? Spielst du gern Schach? Redest du mit dem Mann? Warum atmest du so schnell? So there you have it. Those are the 3 yous that you use in the German language. That's all I have for today. Your assignment is to write a comment down below using one of the forms that you learned today. Practice writing some sentences down below, and I'll correct your grammar for you in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.